We'll get started with Michael Cole.
Taylor, just down the stretch, you guys finished the game, just a lot better than you had during that 3-game losing streak. Just what do you think changed today with Ja Morant and Desmond Bane, the way they played to close this game out against one of the best statistically clutch teams in the league?
Yeah, I got to give our guys a lot of credit. I mean, there's been a lot of learning over the last couple of weeks. I said it to the coaches right after the game. I said we've had a lot of end-of-game situations over this recent stretch here. And, with limited practice time, we're trying to get our guys as prepared as possible for whatever, situation is called for. What do we got to be doing defensively? We had a couple of breakdowns there. Obviously, credit the Suns. I mean, they caught fire there second half, but especially in that fourth quarter. They were getting on transition, threes, free throws. Our rotations were good in the first half. Second half, we just kind of didn't have the legs to kind of sprint around and get out to their shooters. But, luckily we had built enough of a lead, even despite losing that lead late after, Booker hits that 3, our guys just kept poise throughout. And they've always been doing that, even, when it didn't bounce our way in a couple of games recently. But, they threw a lot of different stuff at us tonight. They were blitzing Ja, they were back on Ja, they were switching on Ja. There was a couple of plays we got to, clean up and be a little bit better at, but I thought the execution, especially that last play, the Ja, sat out of bounds, got that layup. That's something we've run a couple of times. But the execution was great. A lot of different guys playing different roles. Guys are in and out of the lineup, throughout the game, guys are in and out. But our guys did a great job, just the poise to come up with the stops that we needed to. And execution. So, definitely sustained a big run there, but, credit to our guys to keep playing the full 48 minutes.
Question in the room.
Just real quick, what are the things that you guys are doing to get those leads? And then what are the things that you're not doing when you lose?
Making shots. I mean, honestly, it's nature of the game, but I thought our defensive activity was phenomenal. We made it a half-court game because we were scoring, so they weren't getting out in transition in that first half. Second half, I think they revved up their pressure against us, and we know teams do that. It's just how we respond to that. We had a couple of possessions where the ball wasn't moving as much, and we were kind of forcing some tough shots, and I think they generated a couple of steals and a couple of blocks, and that just kind of fueled them to get out and run. So, that's hard for us, getting back in transition when a team's going to play with that much pace, and, they do a great job sharing the ball in the full court. So, kind of a matter of just, a little bit better execution on the offensive end, get the ball moving a little bit more, hopefully a few more shots. But, it's the nature of the sport. Our guys have come accustomed to that. When teams go on a run, we just got to find a way to respond and hunker down and, get the offensive execution we need. But despite that, just find a way to get stops to kind of fuel our offense. Yeah. Steven was huge. I mean, obviously, one of the best offensive rebounders in the game. We don't tell him to go do that. He just goes and does that. And, he found opportunities to get rebounds and finish, rebounds to kick out, but also 7 assists, throwing the ball in the post to him, when he's up on the high post and guys are cutting and we're trying to get the ball moving and guys finishing their cuts and getting to the next action. He's doing a great job finding his teammates. So today, on borderline, almost a triple-double, with points, rebounds, and assists. But I also think defensively, the amount of pressure that Paul and Booker put on you with the pick and roll game, their bigs, lob threats. I thought he did a great job being up in pick and rolls to try to slow them down, but also take away their bigs and then finish the possessions with a bunch of boards. So he was big tonight, have a lot of confidence in what he can do on both ends of the floor. But again, I've said it a million times, all he cares about is going out there and impacting the game and winning. And I think I maybe called one play for him tonight and it was an assist. He just goes out there and just does all the winning plays. And tonight he was absolutely huge for us.
Terry Davis.
Hey, Coach, last year you guys won a lot of games on the road. Did that give you some experience and confidence going into a hostile environment and pull out another win, even when it didn't like it could be pulled out?
I hope so, Terry. I mean, obviously, our guys really embrace the road mentality. I thought this was a great road trip for us. Obviously, going up against two of the best teams in the NBA. We had our chances against Golden State. Didn't break free, but our guys just kept battling. Turned the page, got to the Kings and took care of business. And then tonight, set a great tone. And then the Suns went on a heck of a run and we just found a way to win a really good game against a really, really good ball club. So, our guys, they said in the locker room, we just stay poised, we just stay positive. We stay together throughout all this stuff. So this is a heck of an environment here. The Suns, crowd was into it. big time shots, big time stops, even when they were coming back and still down like 10, the crowd was getting into it. And our guys just calmly just proceed, what we got to do offensively and defensively, the communication on the floor and the timeouts. Hopefully this is more experience to gain. That's going to really pay off in the long run for us.
Megan Triplett.
Coach Desmond Bain, career high night, knocking down 6 threes. I know you have spoken so highly of him these last couple of weeks, when it comes to most improved player, but how much of a luxury and what do you see from him, like night out after night out, to be a guy who can knock down that three, especially when you need it?
Yeah, I mean, he's, for just a second-year player, ultimate pro. And what does that mean? There's a litany of things you can say, but, he takes care of his body. He does all of his prep work. He's very purposeful in his individual work, all the things, from the deep threes, coming off of pick and rolls and finishing downhill. He had a huge finish late in the fourth quarter from the right wing going down. And he finishes really well with his right hand. He's been working on his left-hand finishes, and he had a huge one, going to his left right in front of our bench. So he's very intentional about, everything he does for his body, film work, vitamin work. He's a guy that goes out there and he just makes winning plays. You can call plays for him. You can not call plays for him. He's going to be on the right spot on the floor. And outside of the offense, I'm just really proud of all the growth that he's had on the defensive end, just taking on different challenges. Obviously guarding Booker tonight, who's a tremendously challenging, cover. He did a fantastic job. I think it was on Paul for some stretches, other guys. So the effort that he's having to give defensively, maxing out there, and then also maxing out on the offensive end is a credit to all the work he does to just stay physically, mentally, and skillfully prepared. So really proud of his growth, and I know he's only going to continue to get better.
Last question, Sean Coleman.
Coach, congrats on the win. You had said earlier this season and also last season that your goal was to get a defense that was both opportunistic as well as disciplined. One-on-one defense, things such as that. But tonight, defending the three well, another night with 10 or more steals. Just I know in the second half, Phoenix obviously put up their pressure. They found some success, but you got the stops when you needed to. Is this defense, especially with their play this month, getting closer to that goal of playing opportunistic defense balanced with disciplined one-on-one defense?
Yeah, I mean, I think, Sean, we talk about all the time, let's be an active defense with great discipline. Let's play disciplined defense, but still be active, which comes first. I think they're both, equally as important. So, I think we're definitely trending in a much better direction than how we started the season. I thought tonight, a big emphasis was protecting the paint. They really killed us in game one, getting into the paint. I know they still, scored a decent amount in the paint tonight, but we did a great job shifting, showing crowds, getting out to the three-point line, a couple threes that, our rotations weren't as urgent, or, guys that we wanted to really get off the three-point line. We didn't execute that, but, I think you're never going to pitch a perfect game, but I think from an activity and discipline standpoint, our defense is really trending in a good direction. These guys care about that. They understand that, every game is going to have its different, points of emphasis depending on who we're playing. But at the end of the day, can we just remain a really good one-on-one defense, team defense to really set a tone for us? You got your next customer here. All right. Thanks, everybody. Take care.
Love it. Short and sweet. Let's go. I haven't been here since draft.